Welcome back to second part of presentation on phase control rectifiers, unit 3 of the subject basic power electronics. Myself Sanjit Kumar Singh, lecturer in electronics and telecommunication department at Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology, Bandar East. In the previous presentation, we saw the phase control parameters, that is firing angle, conduction angle, extinction angle, and we also saw the single phase half wave control rectifier for RRL and freewheeling diode types of load. In this presentation, we will see the single phase center taped full wave control rectifier for R load, RL load, and effect of the freewheeling diode with RL load. And finally, we will see the basic three phase half wave control rectifier. Before we go for the single phase center tape full wave control rectifier, we know a rectifier can be classified as half wave rectifier or full wave rectifier. In half wave rectifier, we have seen that there is one power device used as a rectifying element or as a switch that will allow only the positive half to be rectified, and in full wave rectification process there are two power devices used for rectifying the positive and the negative half respectively. Whereas in bridge rectifier, there are four power devices, either the diodes or SCRs, forming a bridge circuit, and that will rectify the positive half and the negative half. So here we have the center tape full wave control rectifier. It is also called a two quadrant converter because the operation could be in the first quadrant or it could be in the fourth quadrant. In first quadrant, the voltage, output load voltage will be positive, whereas in third quadrant, output load voltage will be negative, and the power flow is from source to load, that is from AC to DC, that acting as a rectifier, whereas in the fourth quadrant the circuit is operating in inversion mode and therefore the power flow direction reverses from load to source. So this is basic circuit for resistive load, where we see the center tape transformer and the two thyristors used as the main switch generally here, and resistive load is connected between the center point and the common cathode of the thyristors, and current flow will always be from right hand side to left hand side with the neutral taken as grounded, whether T1 is conducting or T2 is conducting. So with respect to the input, sinusoidal input, when the first firing pulse Ig is arriving at a gate of first thyristor, then it is turned on, and till then it is blocking the voltage, and voltage appears across the device, the forward blocking state, and moment it is turned on, voltage drop across the device in on state is ideally taken as 0 here, and output voltage, that is the voltage that is supplied to the load and the load current respectively, increases, peaks, and it follows the curvature of the supply voltage, and here at pi it is turned off, the SCR is turned off, T1 is turned off due to natural commutation happening as the supply voltage is reversing now, therefore making the second thyristor more positive as compared to the first one, but second thyristor is not turned on instantly here till the gate pulse arrives at this second thyristor, and then only it turns on and rectified output voltage is obtained, because the load and load current is running through the R from right to left again. So this cycle repeats, and at 2 pi the thyristor T2 is turned off, and then the positive half repeats itself. So this is how the current is always from right to left, that is unidirectional, is ensured, and as we get the average load DC voltage as positive. Here it is discontinuous mode of operation, and VLDC output voltage, average output voltage will be given by Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha, and here in this particular numerical we have the Vm of the supply voltage as 100 and firing angle given 30 degree and load resistance as 50 ohm. So substituting the corresponding values, 100 Vm and 30 the firing angle alpha, we get 59.396 volt as the VLDC, and similarly ILDC will be VLDC by RL, that is 1.188 ampere. Now second circuit is M2 circuit with RL load. Here resistive load is now replaced with highly inductive load. So in this case what happens, as the thyristor 1 is forward biased with the positive for the positive half cycle of the input, and till this gating pulse is applied at T1, until that time voltage gets developed across T1, and at firing instant alpha T1 is turned on, and here it will start conduction and rectified output voltage is obtained, and current is running through RL load from right hand side to left hand side. But at this instant pi it is not turned off, it forces the thyristor to remain in on state, keep conducting due to the energy stored in inductor. The energy stored is dissipated through, and that keeps the thyristor to remain in on state, and the thyristor turns off only at pi plus alpha angle here, where we find that the second gating pulse has arrived and it turns on the second thyristor, and thereafter second thyristor conducts from pi plus alpha to 2 pi plus alpha. Same case here, this is the discharging of the energy in the L through this thyristor, and this cycle will repeat itself. One thing to be noted is that the peak inverse voltage applied here is twice that of the supply voltage Vm or Em here. So we require that thyristor rating higher here. VLDC output voltage is given as twice Vm by pi within bracket cos alpha. Now if we are connecting the freewheeling diode, this is the third case of RL load for single phase center tape full wave control rectifier, that is also called M2 configuration. So there is a diode, freewheeling diode connected across this inductive load, highly inductive load, and this allows the energy stored in this inductor to be dissipated through the freewheeling diode rather than forcing the conducting thyristor to continue till pi plus alpha. It is turned off at pi instant, as it was in the case of a resistive load, and similarly is the case when T2 is conducting for the negative half cycle due to the voltage making it more forward biased, positive forward biased than as compared to the first thyristor, and the gating pulse arrives, and that time it turns on and conducts from pi plus alpha to 2 pi. So in this way the freewheeling action reduces the negative voltage, and therefore we have more average DC voltage obtained in case of freewheeling diode. The freewheeling diode has the advantage of converting the two mode of operation, that is rectification and inversion mode, to rectification alone, that is inserted here. Unidirectional current flow is inserted here. Now we can compare the controlled and uncontrolled rectifier with respect to number of parameters. Controlled rectifiers require SCRs and diodes, whereas uncontrolled only diodes are sufficient. Then control load voltage can be controlled, whereas uncontrolled it is diodes. Once it is turned on, it goes uncontrolled. Direction of current flow or power flow is from source to load as well as load to source in inversion mode of operation. In uncontrolled, it is always from source to load. Freewheeling diode and the triggering circuit are required here, and particularly for inductive load we require the freewheeling diode, whereas uncontrolled they don't require it. And application DC controller and battery charger, whereas uncontrolled it is mainly power supply for which it is used. Now let us say the three-phase thyristor converter. What are the types? Three-phase, 3-pulse converter, 6-pulse converter, 12-pulse converters, and 6-pulse converters are subdivided into 3-phase full converter, 3-phase semi-converters, 6-pulse midpoint converters. What is the need of a polyphase rectifier? Though in general we have single phase rectifier applicable for up to 2 kilowatt. Beyond 2 kilowatt, if a power requirement is there, then generally it is preferred to use the 3-phase or polyphase rectifiers, though we know it is single phase is able to provide up to 15 kilowatt. What are the advantages of polyphase rectifiers? It has a lot of advantages over single phase. Higher output, more DC voltage is obtained, and higher ripple frequency makes the filtering components smaller and the transformer to be a smaller size. Ripple content in the output current and voltage is more, therefore we have the better input power factor as well, better efficiency, and facilitates higher peak inverter voltage, and provides the highest TUF transformer utilization factor. What are the applications of polyphase rectifier? It is used in DC traction electrochemical process like the production of aluminum and magnesium, in power supplies like in electronic devices, radio transmitters, telephone exchanges, electronic heaters, etc. These are the different application areas where polyphase rectifiers are in use. Now here we see a basic circuit arrangement for M3 converter, that is 3-phase converter or rectifier with R load. The load is connected between common cathode and the star or neutral point. Primary is generally delta, and secondary is connected in a star configuration. For half wave control rectifier it is. So when the supply voltage is, here we have the supply voltage, 3-phase supply voltage. So at this instant the supply in first phase or VRN is more positive, therefore making it more forward biased than compared to the other two, and when triggering pulse arrives it is turned on. So suppose the triggering pulse is arriving at the very instant at this point. So here take the firing angle as 0. So it will conduct for 120 degree first thyristor. Similarly, at this instant second thyristor is more forward biased, and due to the gating pulse applied at its gate, it is turned on and it will conduct for another 120 degree. Similarly, third thyristor will subsequently will conduct for another 120 degrees. So this cycle will repeat, and here we have the output voltage obtained, and similar will be the current waveform. If the firing angle is increased from alpha is equal to 0 to 30 degree here, then we see here conduction continues beyond this midpoint to 30 degree ahead, and similarly subsequent thyristor 2 will conduct for total 120 degree, 120 degree, 120 degree subsequently. If the firing angle is increased further, then there is discontinuous mode of output rectified voltage as well as current, and the output voltage can be given as 3 VML by 2 pi cos alpha, where VMP is maximum value of phase voltage and VML is maximum value of line voltage, and that is √3 VMP, and alpha is firing angle delay. These are the references. Thank you very much.